Souk El Gharb is a village in the Mount Lebanon Governorate, Aley District, in the country of Lebanon. The name of the village translates to Western Market. Before the Lebanese Civil War, it was a prosperous mountain resort, nestled in the Aley District mountains of Mount Lebanon in a pine forest and overlooking St. George Bay and Beirut. Being only a few kilometers from the mountain city of Aley, it is considered today one of Aley's suburbs. The villages that lie between Aley and Souk El Gharb are Bmakine and the two Ains, Ain el-Sayydé and Ain el-Rimmané. South of Souk El Gharb lies the village of Kaifun. Churches: the St. George Greek Catholic Abbey of Bmakine, the St. George Greek Orthodox Abbey, which was started in 1570 and serves as the summer seat of the Orthodox Metropolitan of Beirut. Note: an abbey is a place of worship associated with a monastery. Schools and universities. Souk El Gharb was famous for several schools: the Souk El Gharb Presbyterian School, the Souk El Gharb College of Lebanon, the Souk El Gharb Technical Institute and College, the Souk El Gharb School for English Instruction, and the Souk El Gharb Boarding School for Boys. There's also the Balamand University in Souk El Gharb. History: there are identifiable Roman ruins in the town. There are buildings dating back at least to the 16th century. The town was the scene of many notable battles during the Civil War, its notability arising from being actually held long-term by the Lebanese army rather than a militia. This was sometimes against great odds and against the backing of the Syrian forces. General Michel Aoun's 8th Brigade squared off against the Progressive Socialist Party's PSP militia and their allies for many years. Unfortunately for the civilian population, it led to the destruction of the town. In June 2005, parliamentary elections were held in the village for the first time since the withdrawal of Syrian forces. One resident put it this way: "For me, ballot box battles are for sure much better than gun battles." Souk El Gharb figured prominently in the Civil War, but during this particular time frame the town attracted worldwide attention due to the involvement of American naval forces. The backdrop for the battle was the Israeli invasion of Lebanon. In August 1983, Israel withdrew from the Chouf district, thus removing the buffer between the Druze and the Christian militias and triggering another round of brutal fighting. By September, the Druze had gained control over most of the Chouf. However, it was the nominally Lebanese army that acted as a blocking force in Souk El Gharb during September 1983, thwarting militia passage to the presidential palace in Barda. Barda lay downhill on the Beirut-Damascus highway. The militias coming up from the south had to traverse Souk El Gharb to get to the Beirut-Aley road. Moreover, Souk El Gharb controlled a ridge that overlooked Barda Yars, which was the location of the Ministry of Defense, and East Beirut. For that ridge, the militia gunners could shoot directly downhill at those locations with artillery. The Lebanese army chief tried to get the Americans involved, reasoning with them that they should, since the Syrians were backing militias. At first, the Americans refused but eventually agreed when told Souk El Gharb was in danger of getting overrun. The US Virginia, US John Rogers, US Bowen, and US Arthur W. Bradford fired 338 rounds from the 5-inch guns in support of Lebanese army forces defending Souk El Gharb. The LAF were able to hold the town. It's an open question whether they would have held it without the naval support. Unfortunately, much of the town was destroyed during these hostilities. The PSP had taken control 3 times over Souk El Gharb but failed each time to keep it. The first time because of the American intervention, the second, and after the US troops left Lebanon, because of national pressure on the PSP to quit Souk El Gharb. the third time after the PSP took control of the area. An inside battle between the troops of the PSP let the army retake control of the town. The PSP took full control of the town in 1990. Some authors, including Thomas Friedman, point to the use of this naval gunfire as the beginning point of the U.S. forces being seen as participants in the Civil War rather than peacekeepers, and opening them up to retaliation. Much use was made of land mines in the vicinity of the town, and demining is an ongoing concern. A certain position known as Hill 888 was extensively mined.